The Fisherman and His Wife. Once upon a time, a poor fisherman and his wife lived in a small cabin by the sea. One day, the fisherman caught a big flounder with fishing rod. The fish, "Let me go. I'll pray for you. I'm not really a fish. I'm a cursed prince. I can do whatever you wish. Please let me go," he said. The fisherman left him back into the water after he listened to him. When the fisherman returned home that evening, he told his wife what happened. His wife said, "Didn't you wish for anything from the fish?" she asked. "No," he said. "What could I ask for?" "Oh," she said, "how hard and bad it is to live in this stinking old cabin. Go and ask him for a nice little house." He didn't want to go, but he couldn't stand up to his wife. So he went to the seaside and called out to the sea, "Fish, come, please, fulfill my wife's request. Please, dear fish." The fish came and said, "What does she want?" he asked. The fisherman said his wife doesn't want to live in the old cabin anymore. The fish said, "Then go. Her wish is fulfilled." When the man came home, he was surprised to see a nice little house instead of his old cabin. The house had a small porch, a nice hall, a bedroom, and a kitchen. And inside was full of the best furniture and appliances. And behind the cabin, there was a small garden full of flowers and fruits, where chickens and ducks wander. The fisherman and his wife were so happy to see all of these. They had dinner with joy and went to bed. Things went well for a week or two. One day, the woman told her husband, "This house is too small, and the garden is not too large. Fish can give us a bigger house. I want to live in a big house made of stones." "Ask the fish to give us a bigger house," she said. "This house is good enough. Besides, there's only two of us." "Why do you want a bigger house?" said the fisherman. "I don't know," she said. "You just go to fish. The fish will handle it." The fisherman unwillingly went back to the seaside. He called the fish again from the same place and asked for a big stone house for his wife. Fish accepted his request this time too. When the fisherman returned home, he found a big, magnificent stone house instead of his old house. In the majestic castle-like house, there was a large marble hall and servants waiting at large doors. One night, the woman dreamed of the queen's palace and his glorious life. She immediately woke up her husband and said, "Dear husband, please get up. Why don't we run this country? Go and tell the fish that we want to be the king and the queen," she said. The fisherman says, "Can a fisherman be a king? Are you out of your mind? I don't want to be a king," he said. She said, "If you don't want to be the king, then I will." "Go and tell the fish that I want to be the queen," she said. When the poor fisherman came ashore again, unwillingly, and called out to the fish swam to him. The fisherman told him his wife wanted to be the queen. "Go tell him that she is now the queen of the country," said the fish. When the fisherman returned to his home, he witnessed his house turned into a large palace made of very expensive marbles. When the fisherman entered through the big, high doors that the guards watching, he saw his wife in a large hall. In all its glory, the court was there, and his wife was set on a high throne. The gold throne was decorated with diamonds. She wore a royal crown covered in pure gold jewels. The fisherman stood in front of his wife and said, "My dear wife, you are the queen now," he said. She said, "Yes, I am." The fisherman said, "Since you're the queen, we have nothing to demand anymore." "No, dear husband," said the woman anxiously. "I've seen the time pass very slow here. I can't bear it. Yes, I am the queen, but I must be the emperor. Go to the fish and tell him this." "Why do you want to be the emperor?" The fisherman said, "I don't know. Just go and tell him I want to be the emperor," said the wife. "My dear wife, how can the fish make you the emperor? I can't even tell that to the fish. There's only one emperor around here. I'm sure the fish can't help you to become another emperor," he said. "What?" she said. "I am the queen, and you are nothing but my husband." Now will you go to him? Go at once. If he made me a queen, then sure he will make me an emperor. I want to be the emperor. Go now." So the fisherman was forced to go to the fish again. The fisherman went back to the beach and called for the fish again. He told the fish that his wife wanted to be the emperor. The fish said, "Go and tell her she's the emperor now," he said. He went and saw a palace made of polished marble and gold ornaments. Soldiers were walking rhythmically in front of the door, playing trumpets, bells, and drums. When the fisherman came in, he saw his wife sitting on a very high, solid gold throne. The fisherman came in front of his wife and said, "Dear wife, you're the emperor now. I guess your wishes will come to an end." "Yes," she said, "but you're wrong. I am the emperor, but I don't think that is enough. I want to be the leader of all mankind." "Go to the fish and tell him my request," she said. "Oh, my dear wife," replied the fisherman, "the fish can't make you the leader of all mankind." "Don't make excuses. Go to fish at once," she shouted in anger. Again he made a wish from fish for his greedy wife, and the fish again fulfilled that request. When the fisherman returned, he saw a huge structure surrounded by palaces. He walked through the crowd. Inside, everything was lit by thousands of candles, and his wife was dressed in gold. She was sitting on a higher throne with a gold scepter in her hand and a crown decorated with diamonds and rubies on her head. There were rows of candles on both sides. All the emperors and queens kneeled before him, kissing her skirt. "My dear wife," the man said, "you're the leader now." "Yes," she said. "I'm the leader of all humans," the fisherman said. "Now that this wish has been fulfilled, be satisfied with it. You can't be any better than this anymore," he told his wife. After that, they went to bed, but she couldn't sleep. His greed kept her awake. She was thinking about what was left of her to be. All night long, she'd been thinking about what else she might have become. But she couldn't think of anything. The sun finally started to rise in the morning. Seeing the redness of dawn, the woman sat in her bed and looked up at the sky. She saw the sun rising out the window. "Why do I not order the sun and the moon to rise and set, my dear husband?" she said. "Get up and go to fish. I want to rule the both sun and the moon." The fisherman was half asleep, but when he heard what his wife said, he was so terrified that he fell out of bed. He thought he heard it wrong, and he rubbed his eyes and said to his wife, "What are you saying?" The wife said, "Dear husband, if I can't control the sun and the moon rising and setting, I can't bear it. If I can't do this, I'll never be happy again," she said. "Oh my God," the man said, kneeling before his wife. "The fish can't do that. I beg you, continue as you are," he said. The woman, in a violent rage, said, "Don't give me any excuses. Go now. I want my wish to come true." The woman got furious. "I can't take it anymore. Are you going to leave now?" she shouted. When the fisherman saw his wife in a terrible temper, he quickly put on his clothes. He went out like he was crazy. When he came out, he saw a big storm break. The wind was blowing so fast, he was hardly standing. Houses and trees fell down, mountains shook, and rocks rolled into the sea. The sky was all black, and there was thunder and lightnings. Black waves rose up to the mountain heights with white sea bubbles on them. Fishermen shouted, "Fish! Fish! Fish! Come and grant my wife's wish." But he couldn't even hear his own voice. "What does she want now?" said the fish. The fisherman stammered, "She wants to rule the sun and the moon." The fish said, "Go back. You'll find her in your old cabin-like barn," he said. The fisherman and his wife have been living in that old cabin ever since.